I'm the Mademoiselle, and ça c'est deuxième Chanel. And aujourd'hui, we are going to be talking about haunted hotels and inns. Now, let me just start off by saying I've stayed at least 2 haunted hotels without even really knowing it, unintentionally, okay? I did not do it on purpose. And y'all already know I've spoken on this channel about how I could see spirits and shit. So, yeah, it wasn't that pleasant, but I mean, nothing happened to me because shout out to my ancestors and shit. They make sure nothing ever happens to me. Everybody else sucks for them. But, yeah. So let's just say, please research everywhere you're going to stay at and make sure ain't no damn spirits in it, because when it comes to hotels and inns and shit, there be lots of spirits and things in there, and it's really not that fun when you book the hotel for 1 and you're not the only one in there, or for 2 and it's 22. Okay, so let me just say flat out, a lot of times when it comes to spirits in hotels or any other dwelling, a lot of times they don't mean no harm. Okay, a lot of times it's not a demonic spirit. It's not really that bad. It's just the fact that, like, a lot of times you didn't intend to stay with a lot of other people, or you didn't intend to stay with a ghost, so it's kind of just like ridiculous. And it's just kind of like scary, like you're trying to sleep and you hear a crying child or something. It's like, bro, well, like, didn't sign up for this. But at the same time, it's like, what can you do? Okay, what can you do? It's just best to Google where the hell you're gonna stay. Okay, so we're gonna go over some of the most haunted places in the US. Comment down below if you've happened to stay at any of these places, or if you happen to stay at any other place, because some of these are literally some places that you probably just should not stay. And most importantly, I would love to know what your stories are down below, because Jesus Christ, some crazy stories. And of course, before we get started, please go get some merch. Everything you need is going to be down below. Just designed some new things. They're in the shop, and I would deeply appreciate if you go buy some. And my new single is going to be out very, very soon, and I would appreciate if you guys go and you buy some. I love you guys so very much. Thank you so very much for supporting me all the time. Join the Patreon, dedicated videos, early access. Then yeah, let's get into it. So the first hotel on the list is the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. Now this hotel is haunted, okay? From certain hotel rooms to the ballroom. It's to the point where most people go here specifically to experience the hauntedness. Now a lot of you guys are probably watching this like, why the hell would anybody do that? Welcome to America, okay? Where people just sit here and just go to fucking hotels to experience the paranormal activity. Personally, I could never understand that shit. Like, I would never sit there and look up haunted hotels to go to in America just to fucking experience it. But a lot of people do it. There's ghost hunting communities that sit there and go to these places just to communicate with the ghosts. And I mean, I don't like to disturb the dead. However, I do understand that there's a lot of spirits that are very lonely and do want to be fed and spoken to. Therefore, I mean, I guess no harm done. But some of y'all are really fucking annoying, okay? Like, why are y'all sitting here going to bother the spirits? I don't understand it. However, this hotel in particular is said to have inspired Stephen King's novel, The Shining, Room 217. Now, let me just tell y'all right now, Room 217 is the most haunted room in the hotel. I don't know why I don't know. Maybe he was drawn there, drawn to the room. Would I sit there and go stay in the most haunted room? No, I don't get people. The professeurs. Hey, he got a hit novel out of it. Maybe the ghost favored the man, okay? So he stayed in the room in 1974. He wrote his hit novel, and you know, he had a nightmare about it, okay? He stayed there, had a whole nightmare about it, wrote his hit novel, and I mean, it was a win-win for him. But guess who have stayed there have said that they reported seeing, you know, a woman in there in a white dress, feeling really serious cold spots and hearing strange noises. But other than that, I mean, I don't feel like it's that bad. I mean, for Stephen King anyway. But in general, there's a lot of people that have like experienced being in that room, and they definitely have experienced paranormal activity. Another place that has been very prone to paranormal activity is the ballroom, where many people have said that they've seen a man in a tuxedo dancing in the ballroom himself. I'll be damned if I go in a ballroom and I just see a man dancing in a tuxedo by himself in a ballroom, okay? And oftentimes there's not even an event going on and they just see a man in there dancing in a tuxedo by himself, child. Also in the elevator, there's been many times where people have said that they've been taken to a completely different floor even when they've pressed the floor that they're going to. So yeah, haunted behind the hotel. I would advise against going there, but I mean, pretty calm spirits if you ask me. People have also reported there being a small boy being in the elevator, as well as the elevator stopping in between floors. When it comes to the staircase, so the staircase is actually located in the basement of this hotel, which I don't know, I find that very strange, but there's been people that reported hearing steps on the staircase even though there's nobody on the staircase. And it's actually a very narrow staircase as well, which, I mean, at least no one really has to go up and down the staircase because there's obviously an elevator in the building. And also there is a music room, which also has reported paranormal activity, which is haunted by the wife of the founder of the hotel, Flora Stanley. Apparently she does haunt the music room, and people have said that they heard her playing the piano, which, child, I ain't got time. You ain't gonna catch me at that hotel. The only person that's seen that benefited is Stephen King. Maybe I need to go write a book over there. Next, we have the Queen Mary in Long Beach, California. I have heard way too much about the Queen Mary. You ain't gonna catch me aboard the Queen Mary for shit. Okay, boy, mem, I don't have time for that. Queen Mary is famous for its deaths. Okay, the fact that anyone even steps foot on this shit anymore doesn't make sense. Now, of course, okay, the Queen Mary is an ocean liner and is said to be haunted by a plethora of past passengers and crew members who have died on board. It's just weird. It's just like the stories just keep on going and going and going, and it just doesn't stop. From sightings to voices and strange sensations, the stories just never end with the Queen Mary. Although her death is a mystery, 1936, that is around the first sighting on the Queen Mary. And of course, many of you guys may know about this. It is the woman in white sighting. Now, a lot of people have seen this woman just walking around the decks of the ship, and she's probably the most common ghost that you will see on there. Nobody even knows how she died. People keep saying she was a passenger, while a lot of people say she might have been crew. To be honest, nobody knows. Shit, she could just be an angel. Who knows? But that is probably the one that you will see if you ever were to go on board there. The next one is the man in the engine room. Now, this is thought to be a crew member, obviously, because he is in the engine room. He is said to be someone on the crew that died in 1942 in a fire that happened on board the ship. And sadly, his body was never found. So that means his remains are somewhere on the ship. I just can't. You ain't never gonna catch me on that goddamn shit. Never gonna catch me on that goddamn shit. There are numerous children ghosts that are on the Queen Mary. There is one report of a little girl that is on the pool on the ship playing in the pool, but there is no pool. The pool is drained. Of course, there is a little boy that runs through the halls, even though there's never anyone on the ship at all. So there's a few other children spirits. However, those two are the main ones. Room B340 is one of the most haunted rooms on this ship. A passenger by the name William Adamson did pass away in this room. However, nobody knows how he passed away. He just passed away under very mysterious circumstances, and no one knows how. However, ever since then, the room has been ridiculously haunted. During World War II, a really massive wave hit the Queen Mary, and there were a lot of crew and passengers that died when that wave hit the ship. And many people believe that a lot of these crew members and passengers still haunt the ship. So, as y'all can see, there's way too many ghosts on this ship. So, for whatever reason you feel the urge to go visit or even look at this ship, just don't nobody got time for that. There's something about sea ships, old sea ships, that I just wouldn't do, okay? And the Queen Mary has to be one of the reasons. Next, we have the Hotel Monteleon in New Orleans, Louisiana. Now, when it comes to Louisiana, like I said, it's one of my favorite cities in the US, next to Seattle. However, literally most of those hotels are fucking haunted as hell. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I ended up staying at a few haunted hotels before. One of the haunted hotels I ended up staying at was the Bourbon Orleans Hotel, y'all. Yes, I stayed at the Bourbon Orleans back in August this year, and I didn't even know it was haunted. Well, actually, I did know it was haunted, but I didn't notice. I didn't put the pieces together until I peeped where I was. Like, if y'all are not on Patreon, y'all should be on Patreon, because then y'all can hear the stories of my bachelorette fucking disaster. Okay, so long story short, okay, fuck them bitches, okay? I was there for the bride, but fuck all those other hoes. But long story short, these bitches didn't research anything. We ended up in the haunted ass fucking Bourbon Orleans Hotel, okay? And essentially, these motherfuckers proud of they fucking haunted ass shit, because literally as soon as you walk in the hotel, it's like, welcome to the haunted Bourbon Orleans Hotel. And then like, oh hell nah. I remember reading about this shit on the internet, okay? And I'm just like, oh, well, I ain't got a choice now. I already paid these whores the money, and I can't get my money back because I'm already here. And the thing is, like I said, I see spirits, I feel spirits and all of that shit. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh no. Every time I'm walking in the hallways and all of that, and I'm like, this is fucking annoying, and I can't go nowhere. I gotta stay here for the bride. So long story short, okay, I ended up staying at the Bourbon, but that one's not on this list. You guys could feel free to look up the spirits there. It's I mean, luckily nothing happened to me, okay? I don't think any of them really felt anything. I don't remember. Like I said, fuck them hoes, except for one. The Hotel Monteleon, okay, is said to be haunted by the ghost of Mary Laveau. And if you guys don't know about Mary Laveau, again, look her up. I might be doing a video on her during this series, because Mary Laveau is a very interesting character. You either love her or you don't. There's a lot of conflicting stories about her, very conflicting history about her. So again, you gotta look her up on your own and make your own decision about that, because I don't know how I want to do the video about her, because again, conflicting history about her. So, you know, she was a voodoo priestess, okay? She lived in New Orleans, 19th century, and guests have reported seeing her, okay? Just walking around, hearing her footsteps, and of course, smelling her perfume, okay? And it's very interesting because, like, they've seen her in other places as well, but this hotel in particular is where a lot of people have seen her. People have also seen the ghost of Maurice Beguer as well. Now, he was a young boy who died at the hotel in the late 1800s, and people believe that his ghost also haunts the hotel, particularly the 14th floor. But technically, it's the 13th floor, because due to superstition, the hotel skips that floor. A lot of people have reported hearing him play the piano and, of course, feeling his presence. And of course, the ghost of the Carousel Bar. There was a former bartender who used to work the bar at the hotel who was murdered at the hotel, and a lot of people believe that he's still there and he haunts the bar. Guests have reported seeing him there and hearing him whistling and feeling their presence behind them. The ghosts of the bellhop. The bellhop also tragically died at the hotel in a terrible accident. Many people have reportedly saw the bellhop holding a luggage in the hotel and heard his footsteps. There's also thought to be a firefighter who died in a fire at the hotel. Guests have reportedly heard him shouting and feel his presence in the basement. So lots of activity over there. If for whatever reason you feel compelled, okay, to book anything at that hotel, just don't. There's a lot going on. Next, we have the Biltmore Estates in Asheville, North Carolina. Now, this is a lavish hotel. Okay, like it's beautiful, it's grand, okay, and it's probably one of the nicest places you can stay. However, it is said to be haunted by the man who had it built, okay, George Vanderbilt, okay, and his wife as well. People have reported seeing George, his wife, as well as hearing him or her footsteps, and of course feeling their presences in the establishment. Of course, like I said, people have said they have seen George on the property as well as his wife Edith. People have said that they've seen Edith in the windows or heard Edith calling for George. To be honest, that's actually pretty goddamn creepy. Like, I would hope if I don't build no damn property, I'm not sitting there calling my man and sitting in the goddamn windows. Like, that's just creepy. Like, don't you got something to do? I don't know. Like, I mean, you know, they do say that ghosts are people that just haven't like went to the other side or just feel attached to something. But damn, aren't you bored? I'm just saying. Then of course there are ghosts of the crying children. Now there are some very conflicting reports on this. A lot of people believe that there are ghosts of children that were either murdered in the area or died in the area, or children who were killed or died in the mansion. No one really knows, but there are definitely some ghosts in that mansion of children. There's a ghost of a former butler. Now, a lot of people believe that he was also murdered in that mansion, and he mainly haunts the wine cellar, and people believe that they always hear him moving bottles around in the wine cellar. And then there's the ghost of the lady in white, who is said to haunt the mansion's gardens, okay? So she is said to be the ghost of the woman who was murdered on the property, and people report seeing her ghost and her presence in the gardens. To be honest, I don't know why. I'm just trying to understand why anybody wants to stay in these types of places. Like, I don't know how many times I gotta say it, because that's just creepy as hell. Like, I'd be damned if I'm asleep and I just hear somebody shuffling wine bottles and just tending to damn gardens and shit like they fucking own the shit. No. No. Next, we have the Crescent Hotel and Spa in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. So this one, creepy as fuck. This shouldn't even have been turned into a hotel. Let's just say that it is haunted by a lot of former guests and employees, including a doctor who was out here doing experiments on patients in the hotel's basement. You heard me correctly. Okay, so guests have reported seeing apparitions as well as hearing strange noises and feeling cold spots. Okay, the regular. I just need to understand what the fascination is in turning obviously horrible scenes of crimes into dwellings. Someone needs to help me understand. Places like that need to be destroyed and blessed. Why turn them into places of business? I don't know. Somebody needs to help me understand. I don't understand the point of capitalizing on these types of places. Comment down below if you agree, disagree. We shouldn't be making money on people's places of pain, but hey, what do I know? So we have the ghost of Michael, and this one's really sad. So Michael was a stonemason, okay, and he was working. This actually hurts, okay? So he is said to haunt room 218, and apparently while he was working, he fell asleep during construction. He fell to his death, all right? And people have reported seeing him and feeling cold spots in that room. That is room 218. Of course, we have another lady in white. There's always a lady in white, but this lady is said to have been murdered in this house, and many people have seen her as well as heard her cries in the hotel. We have Dr. Baker. Okay, he's the one who operated the cancer hospital in the 1930s, and he also haunts this establishment, and he's said to be looking around for his patients under his care. And you know, it's very interesting. Did I say patients? Victims, okay, who died under his care. People reported seeing him, hearing his footsteps. It's just weird. Turning a hospital into a hotel. There's a little girl ghost as well. There's a little girl who had also passed away at the hotel. A lot of people have reported seeing her as well as hearing her laugh. There's a woman in black that is said to be a patient at the cancer hospital under the care of Dr. Baker. She is also said to haunt the establishment, and people have heard her footsteps and felt her presence. Next, we have a hotel in Santa Fe, New Mexico called La Fonda. So this hotel right here, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but they have at least 2 true crime cases where both the victims have just never left. Chief Justice of Territorial Supreme Court, John P. Slaw, was shot to death in 1867 at La Fonda in the hotel lobby. And ever since then, has been haunting this hotel. Shortly after, a man lost a card game and jumped out of the window or the roof, and ever since then has been emerging from the fountain of La Fonda and still haunts it to this day. So if for whatever reason You just stop by in New Mexico, and La Fonda is the closest thing. You might want to look somewhere else. Final one is going to be Hotel del Carnaval. Oh, child, I'm gonna have to read it, y'all. Hotel del Coronado in Coronado, California. Now, this hotel is said to be haunted by a woman named Kate Morgan who died in 1892. Now, her ghost is said to be wandering the halls, sitting on the beach, and it's said to be that she's haunted this place so much that people have seen this woman in their photographs. Yes, in their photographs. Like, she is very comfortable, okay? She's very, very comfortable. People in the hotel have experienced lights flickering, TVs turning on and off, movements in their rooms, inexplainable scents, sounds. Like, that place is haunted. And it's all because of Kate. I mean, I guess it's friendly in a way, but it's creepy as hell. Don't nobody got time for that. But I mean, the hotel does get a lot of visitors specifically because of Kate, okay? And the room that she specifically stayed in is the most highly requested. Because I guess people are interested. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm never gonna go searching for stuff like that. But people are very intrigued by it. Nonetheless, y'all, be safe. Please don't go out ghost hunting and doing all of that unless you're experienced and you know what the hell you're doing. And be very careful where you guys go lay your heads, where you guys go vacationing. Look it up because you never know what you're going to find. With that being said, I'd love to hear your stories down below. Where have you stayed? What happened? I want to know all the tea, all the trees, man, because I'm nosy as hell. With that being said, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, get your merchandise. Check out my other two channels. My main channel deals with Black social commentary on Black issues, and my vlog channel is my personal stuff, story times, advice, things like that. Join my Patreon, and yeah, get your merchandise. With that being said, I'm gonna see y'all next time. Bye.